tutu asase wura nana woko an de mu asase wesi ayetisu yesu na asase ya wodia a wohwe so na da bridge kasia a bo awoma abo asase so ya to ya bi say blue light a ye di power hase emu mama emu kranke tua wo mu anwisi ani nyanka woduo ama ye kunu mu dwuma saya ama no so ya dwuma saya ya wo di nkrofo na ase ana ya nsa akoya no na na wadawulu ma bridge kasia bo ye wadawulu ma ya twawo ya se wo tukwan to woni ya show eti ya traw wadawulu ma se waba wadawulu ma na na sadansa yam kotodegu fom na na kaka ahoma ye ya srabo mama ya sraw kaka ahoma ya dia to wonka ya sraw na ya ba ya se the chance aba just ati ho anda da dia ya dia manom ekodi die ya ma ya ni di ya dia manom ya se the chance ya do na chance ni ya bubu no sibayo Gana from my table so na ya bra ododo wase I don't know for free ya bra ya chana ti o ma bi ana
Pacha friend Mubarak nu emsa anyina obi anum se me NDC ya beto aba me chedom ma NDC ama bebre amugina nyina ya NDC fo but ya so amba man se on betu yen because menim se ko beto aba betu mi aka man to ama no mo ya sare mo me ya betra wo mo ya du ya wo se ya to aba ma o de ya beti so wa mo mpedi ya to aba ma ya se be hwa yen ya to aba ma ya se be bra be pam yen eti ya sraw wo mo ya NDC fo ya set fo ya du ya NDC fo wo mo ya sare ya sraw enim ko ya fo
no se tutu
efisa esi metieti akire metieti ehu a ewo amanfo mu se aban besi a ebekwa akosi sen se we be ya ebekwa akosi sen asanteman de ni wura eye ba kope eye asante hene otumfo wama ni musu kakra obeba na wotwi enko awieye na aba bedu asante Ghana ene asanteman mu mene ni bedi nkomo mene aban so regional minister ene KM so bedi nkomo na esan yase a edan a esi hei me Brian Champon Messi senior na tie edi ama asanteman Messi edi ama asanteman Bese edan na esi ho no sania esi ho no ano sania na enim hatie no ohene nana onkese otumfo ebeduru Ghana na meneno etwetwe nkomo na wasan ase na aban KM su esan ase a edwa no Messi edi ama wono a eye woni dia no na woni sika kakra ekaye no se yesi wie ne yedane ma omo a na omo so edi afane ma yeden egum etino ena meni executives no market executives no ebedi nkomo na yene ohene so edi nkomo se ne be ya dwumadi a me pese me bedi wa hai ekoye edi ma blue light traders eni omo a wona hwere wona japade kese pa na edan we se me ka se metimi asia me nyi achidie Mercy Rock City, the biggest hotel in Africa. It's blue light edan we there enkodru se afi da ye de be ma me no enkodru afi no na edan we me page esi ho e de amafo
anamontua ya wotio abranyina na wokọ na woba abranyina na wokọ na woba e di aside ni kan bia e ma wo aside atoso bio ya de ma MPC ni nyina MPC wa nyina se monya ye ho mre na ani ani san nyina moba na moba sai de ya ni ji ho kra ba akuni se obu ahwa na MPC sɛ ɛnyɛ sɛ TV so a na anka wɔn ho wɔn da nanso atorenkyɛn baa yɛn mo ankasa mo nipadua megye sɛ obi a wabi ahunu MPs a yɛ ɔmo ɔbɛn mu nyinaa deɛ ɛtɔ so yɛwura Brian nyame nhyira wo paa da biara deɛ meka ne sɛ sika a wɔyie sɛ yɛmfa mo adwumadie yi ɔsorosoro nyankopɔn ɛna ɛbɛhyira soɔ baabi a yɛ a woyi sika yi ɛfiri yɛ biara deɛ meka sɛ Awurade ɔnhyira wo.
Try to do as much as we could. Notwithstanding our hard work, however, we still suffered a heavy defeat. And when you look at what happened, you will see that it was internal. Many of our supporters did not come out to vote. This is really fundamentally why we lost it. If you look at 2020 vis-a-vis 2024, 2.1 million of our supporters didn't come out to vote. 2.1 million. And you look at John Mohammed's votes, his votes went up by maybe 115,000. So he increased by 115,000 and we went down by 2.1 million. And that is basically why we did not win. So the key to victory going forward is within the NPP. When you look at the reasons people were offering, one of the reasons people offered was that they said that they didn't vote for us because our presidential candidate was Muslim. Have you not heard that? Didn't you hear that? When I heard that, I said, this doesn't make sense. This is not the Ghana that I know. Because if you look at it, we went for primaries. We had 10 contestants. I was 1 Muslim, 9 Christians. But the MPP voted for the Muslim presidential candidate. So we tried to do
national thank you talk. In 1992, a then flag bearer, the late Professor Dubois, after the elections, embarked on a thank you talk. Our revered former president, Donald J. Kunkufo, in 1996, after the elections, embarked on the thank you tour. By God's grace, when the New Patriotic Party won in 2000, he embarked on the thank you tour, likewise 2004. In 2008, when we didn't win the elections, our then candidate, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, equally embarked on the thank you tour 2009. And even in 2012, when we did not win, he embarked on the thank you tour. By God's grace, when we won in 2016, we went on the thank you tour, and even 2020. In 2024, we couldn't win. But then again, just as we have precedents, our immediate past flag bearer, His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia, and the party are embarking on a thank you tour. The uniqueness of this year's thank you tour is that it's not him himself as a flag bearer who is embarking on the thank you tour, but he's doing it together with the party. And this is something that we want to show appreciation to the former Vice President and immediate past flag bearer for recognizing the need for us to move together as a party in the thank you tour. Again, he has also led the process and the charge for us to invite former contestants or those who contested with him in the parliamentary primaries to join in the thank you tour, national thank you tour. In 1992, our then flag bearer, the late Professor embarked on a our revered former president, Donald J. Kunkufo, in 1996, after the elections, embarked on the thank you tour. By God's grace, when the New Patriotic Party won in 2000, he embarked on the thank you tour, likewise 2004. In 2008, when we didn't win the election.
Years of dedication and hard work, we are proud to roll out our new chip-embedded polycarbonate passport, and to announce major passport reform policies. Ghana's journey with chip-embedded passports began in 2010. The biometric passports were introduced in that year, but the aspect of microchip embedded with the holder's biometric data, including fingerprint and facial recognition, was left out. The plan to include a chip was reactivated in 2016, but could not take place. In 2018, the previous government established a committee to ensure the implementation of the chip-embedded passport. After several months of the engagements with private partners, the chip-embedded passport was launched by the previous government on 2nd December 2024, but could not be rolled out. After the election, the new Mahama administration conducted a thorough review with the objective of aligning with the new broad vision for passport reforms in Ghana. This cutting-edge travel document embodies our commitment to security, innovation, and international standards. The rollout of this new passport on the 28th of April 2025, and kindly take note of the date. This is the momentous date to take note of. Ladies and gentlemen,
About share your mamma Joe and your brain. So Kessben television soon science so here or Kessben TV Plus. So Kessben TV Plus, our digital channel so Kessben television multi TV decoder so DSTV channel 364, Go Teacher 121, Facebook Live, Kessben TV and you the punch. You may be in a day ebrewo. You sing kunye, non do any ever so. Yɛdwen sɛ wɔfa Ghana may amanyɔsɛm nso ho na ɛnɛ ya wara sɛ bɛdi ka no April so beso da ɛtɔ so aduonu ɛnan ɛna yɛatra se ɛne ɛtrafri sa abrɛ kɔbɔ nondu na nsɛm ogu apro so no yɛni ɛho nso nkɔmɔ yɛbɛdi nkɔmɔ ɛde afa Chief Justice ya mampani asuspend ne so ntra nkyɛn na hwimu ayɛyɛ ɔnkonko yi ne ho ano kwadu a nipa bi ɛde abɔ no emu nsɛm apiepie kwadu ɔde abɔ no ɛne na nso no yɛ ɔde kwa bi kyerɛ sɛ wei ezuo bi anim ebiso kyerɛ sɛ wa asɛm yi a wa ano yie yɛ wɔso kɔ yi ne ho ano na committee no nso transeɛ na wɔn yɛ nhwemu na ɛnum ɛnɛnɛ there is a fresh interlocutory injunction yɛ akɔtɔ Supreme Court Ora Vincent Eko Asifua yɛ ɔno yɛ mmarahyɛbea no manfo wɔ tafo ɔsan ɛde sɛm foforɔ kɔ Supreme Court sɛ Supreme Court ɔfa tabɔ ɛnto anamontu amampani atuo a suspended Chief Justice no apa 5-member committee so omunye nhwemu na nsɛm adi abɔ no kwa na no bɔ no a yenyi na konwa emfi ne nsɛm nti we ɛyɛ fresh one aka so di ka yɛ ba akoto hɔ sɛ nka yɛ stop process no ɛno no omunya ntra so asa fale a fresh one ya nyame admo sɛ May kutunima abosome no Supreme Court ɛtra so is going to stop the process ebetimi asi medie no ano kwan ana so sɛ ɛnya ade a ebetimi asi kwan dwuma na ɔmo yɛ no obia entimi nya ɔhwe ataka 146 no sɛ process no start a obitimi at the court esi process na no kwan ana sɛ gisi ka wie na bia the buy no wani anya ho a ɛna ebetimi akɔ Supreme Court sɛ bia yɛbu Chief Justice entenchia ana we enyina yɛ nsɛmsa egu aproso ɛna krata yɛ free judicial secretary ɔtwotwo pani ɔwɔ Chief Justice asoye akɔ ama court sɛ wɔ Ghana nyina ne sɛ the acting Chief Justice the ɔhwɛ akyire sɛ ɔbɛti mu afo pani pa Justice Bafuboni ahyɛ sɛ court registrars yɛ wɔ Ghana nyina high court ne ade nyina no sɛ asɛm foforɔ bi aba sɛ bi a high court court of appeal na wɔ sɛ yɛdi a ɔmo mfa saa asɛm no mmra na soɛ na wa appointed judge a obetra asɛm no so na wadie so wohwɛ Chief Justice asabria suspend no no kwadu adi abɔ no no a ebi kyerɛ sɛ asɛm wɔ hɔ a yedi a otimiye na wasesa nipa a omodi asɛm no we mu nyina name om de abon kwadu no bi. You see the acting chief justice say any fresh case fufuro bi a fe na eba no ebeto wanim say registrar bring it to the attention of the acting chief justice na o assign judge a obedi sa asem no ho ene ya na ensem no eta ewo no say judiciary no ase ye ya wuramu ama obi kotra asem no so adi kra no a ne pese ehunu ni nchi se wei ofiri he na say no bi na asem akọ se usua emra eka de ne hwe atemuafo mu pa no eye judges no de according to jurisprudence no theory kra ogidie judge bi or a naturalist obi eye positivist obi a realist obi a socialist na obi a trust na odi asem a judge bi wa or the originalist approach na ye obi also the purposeful approach obi the textualist approach na ne nyina ne say ye tromra to ha judge bi obusa ne ho say but ya de tromre ene say it ade bi ho ya ntro no black and white omra no mu nanso hunu so omo ye mra no na omo adwen ne say eni say ye sa ade we it ebre no asesa o say hunu say de omo ye no say nti na omo ye nti the cancer constitution they grow living organism it has to grow judge bi also or ye textualist no sade no ye ntro no black and white dia onfa nya adwuma omo no sa no e na ade koto nanim se oba na oba akoda Ghana obegya no because we Ghana mremu sisia no a mra bi anu eche se oba na oba da aye bone mra na ewom ye unnatural canal ye penal penetration sebe be ma na bi onu obi da mra na nka se oba na oba da ye ntwe so the textualist no oba interpreting said de ya tro no pepepepepe but the oye bi a purposeful no ono hwe se na botae ne se bi a ye ma same sex enye den enkoda inti se bra oba be ma ne be ma o se bra oba no kane no judges we no the lawyer bi e ko judge bi animu a oso hunu jurisprudential theory kra judge ni gidie no they are building the case along that line but I say Ghana there so ko judge animu I say ye pese di wuramu a say we MPP judge we NDC judge and that is dangerous for our democracy ya dia ehu pa ye ni se Ghana so we should see judges as people omo trenadwamu a said the omo tete no they sit in the judgment seat with an open mind otie afanu ni nyina to on judges omo symbol no a as a weighing scale into a balance some come asem wi a de wodie mu odu no e beti akofom na de ndie mu o hana pagya kostro that is say wa wodie mu odu no and on a balance or preponderance of probability unu wadi nkunim etika yesua judges de omo gidie omo theory kra omo gidie na de akọ omo anim e say Ghana ye de amanyosem awuram se asem bi ba na judge bi ko traso a na manfo person mu say judge we kra no aban be ne pa no ana say party be obetimi wuramu akoka say judge we kra no ebire bi no okogina party we dim say okopre enu so nti we party ni we ba it could be say be a judge no bere bi ogina say this candidate and MPP candidate but obey judge what the mra no na eye adwuma see enyi saade na afrim ne hunu say the judges are politicized omo bi bia no we gina ha de a ena na che say nipa bia na asem okọ a na adwen be ense ne ese me hunu say asem ye ekọ judge anim that's the problem we have in the judiciary now say asem bia akọ a obi gidi say judge kra Chief Justice de ne kotena so no okudi ama NDC ana okudi ama MPP ho ene ade a ehu ya se hwe na etimi tu asisi a okọ Supreme Court a judges ayo ho no emu ba akopɛ na NDC aba na pa no omo maka nyina MPP for the pa no that means say asem bia akọ na wasam nye de kra no a MPP na do call Supreme Court nti on be kama wana is that how we should think as a nation NDC abaya bay omo so abreso no judges ni be call retirement no omo so apel bia eden abeshim that means say omo be Supreme Court no omo so NDC do omo akunti no omo asem bia ombedie no ombedi dia call NDC afemo na ye kosa trajectory no a Ghana anya dia a ebeboae they said maka no krata no e da screen so no malam ye hwe letter from the judicial secretary say new fresh case bia bia no said the tie no refer it to the office of the acting chief justice for judges to be assigned to sit on those cases. No, someone they benya bre near where Ghana Bar Association almost the crata babontin. So Australia Ghana for you so we should be very cautious. Ye Chief Justice and Shaya Nas and Amutua Mampeni and a council of city to say, you had no no bonwa, in free or not sabria suspending no. Ghana Bar Association said Ghana need be a yabotre. Na quite do credit the aboma no ubi enim. Of course, social media so fin rebano, and I'm so quite do a diabono any day on also you require. But a marano pano can maquine, sequel do a decobono, then a new year no capie. Then so social media interpie. Ama ubia eken kebi. According to Ghana Bar Association, officially, Council of State, any committee in a transcend, and by say, kwedu edi abononi. Ti yese openi due mate. So Ghana Bar fortunately say, omo di omuhu as kwedu edi abomame no ubia aka ho asem. Nemu ye buasem no wie na process no ne atemu na anko ye dia. Then they can interrogate to be a bit me and so I can be at the affair. If you know so, you already see what Tamale teaching hospital no. Yeah, so for help on this, so Karo Intaka no call her. Only a doctor for only a pinche kakra. Actually, better just say, Dr. Penny or that I sabiana no yinedi. Edipa for fraba, Dr. Fortes woman quejuma. Ama and you may yat say, Brian ne. So for any doctor for no Casa no matter say, so me could minimum one power much. If you say, Casa or Casachero Rano, and also Ankui. And Yantie from around the Abbey, Dr. Yodago Kuku Bode Jukuano. Say, Yami had my fee. Inshallah, you better cocoa boom. Now, cocoa boy, the mercury for a better Ivory Coast, dear. Kaisan and say, no man for a say, Ivory Coast cocoa matum. Ghana yam to the noir, a man for best swagger cocoa diaco. Yanko tea Dr. Randiabe, a semo kai, the cocoa for or best some was sehui, and a man tam would wear a dear cocoa or so.
Man perijo mama, or man perijo mama. Bute Danny who say, I was say, a quiaforno, enya in Faswa. But I was here as your mamma who cry a woman. It's immediately I met me. I catch them. They say, oh, man, penny this year season, you expect to see a better open in August 25-26. Now, a better open in August, no, you have a new producer price. Amen. Now, new producer price, no, so no, a better the Cote d'Ivoire man.
Te kokwa kuafo no atadwofo wa omo atede o se August osanabo sumi mu no abai de ebo foforo a obeto kokoo no beba na ebechai Cote d'Ivoire ede no nti yehwe kwan se yewo April, May, June, July, August akabo sumi 9 na ebo no ba. How much is Ghana government going to buy a bag of cocoa? A free cocoa ekuafo ensemo afi yankwe ene kumasi kejetia anase blue light adwedifo na ni abrepa some de nyane ya ba beje bebi a ahye no omugiri se KMM ya ene be ya adwuma no besu otu mu free ho ti omosre se asanteme wura aba beduru a ofa na no ntumbi se be ya yenyi asase mfiri omo nsem na ekomonko ne omo ene oma onse enti di omo ekan
tutu asase wura nana wonko ande ni musa asase we si ayetesu yetu na asase ya wodia a wo hwe so na da bridge kasia a bo awoma awo asase so yetu ya di se blue light a ye di power ha se emu mama emu kranke tua wo mo anwisi ani nyanka wo duo ama ye kunu mu dwuma saya ama no so ye dwuma saya ya wo di dinkrofo na ase ana yansa akoya no na na wadawuluma bidi tie kasia bo ye wadawuluma ye twa yete want to kwan to when you show eti yatra wadawuluma so wadawuluma na nasa dansa yam kotodegu fom na na kaka ahoma ye yesrabo na yesrabo kaka ahoma ye yete wonka yesrabo na ya ba ya yesi the chance aba just ati ho ana da bia ya dia manom ekodi die ya ma ye ni di ya dia manom yesi the chance ya jo na chance ni ya bubu no Sibaya wajumayo Ghana from my tell so na ya bra ododo wase I don't know pesi ya ho ya bra ya chana Tiwo mari ana
me NDC. Yeah, that two about me don't my NDC. I'm a baby, I'm NDC for. But yeah, two about man say on but 2 years. Because when himself come back to about to me, I come on to a man. We are telling me, I was here to about my own. So.
Right, we the phone almost so Kumasi blue light and so almost when brene and then omni soja phone and police for nya grokra say ya jade ho Kumasi nya je ho wie ya na kan hu say ye ba be si nti unya access ntumi ngura mo bio almost so omompene omase kotoko hene so abedura omehwe na onka bi ema wo mo we don't nsebudo ya ide nko fa adwen kire bre WhatsApp line no 0551599333 Facebook eso wetimi so aja comment ho afio de bre WhatsApp and say normal text message ye beje na yetimi akenkan e de ama wo ojafo edom digma ena anwumre Ra Mahmood Kabore, the Dean of Communicators for Ashanti Regional NDC Communication Team. Oha, Sansona Dr. Enoke Champon, or a senior lecturer, KNUSC, or Sanso, a NPP ni Amapa. Penifumi no, and a enomo AD Chumain. Malam Yaya and Ebum Chidom, Medin, Eddie Kofi Appiah as usual. Marissa Sinfree Kabore. Rabbi Niakwaba.
Yeah, brofa.
Now, yeah.
I don't umpire. I hear you so cracker.
Now, OMP, what to say?
Yamia dumpa, wa fase, or batampa hajana sirafra. Oh, yeah, or chia also. Or damwas, so I'm saying, none other. No, they thank you to internal thank you to Banaway. All the polling stations in such a from Prince constituency. Yes, it will be showing Munyama now, yeah, the AOFA or Sefatas that ye didn't come for. Yakoba Bia, Akoda Nanum Kruma for and all stakeholders assets and we know more when they share in your bano. We share about the winning 2024. I was a child from place. Abakwa Semu BC that always happens one or so. And Nasa and Munyam and Sefata say they were Masada Komomo. And on behalf of Obatampa Haja Nasira Fra, that such a from place for in a city. And you feel Yakubu zone a ho, and yet thank you to no a corner and yet the woman as now all here said you fee a ho adania butuna or mujin your name ababa na yasam katwa. Janyo fee my any winnie pine in a incredible track was saying in Adam was sequence from Coso. The Akai Empire sans a mameno in your banu empino. In saying near my power, a son as near a ben for so de Ediamayina.
Right, that's it. Doc, Akaba.
Yeah, Jova.
I won't put me a day.
Christ in tea, me a dish.
Fantastic.
Methodist for the Yanchian. Christ in tea. No, I just was a me a dish. Until I find out on my way, and you remember Faconies and Amachao. And some new share check a crap. Machia on Amacha Kabori. Namachia Mikrum, so for the Bia Mecam say, and we be the Fretchy. China, me freelance and Mecame, and yes, at distance, for Dansia Sokohaya, but conditions. Conditions are in any woman in Tino. There be a Mina Quenya, I am Mecasimi Fretchy, but near Chili say, Quanewa. But conditions are in any Montimecha Dansia Soka district, and I'm a crew, baby, I'm a frank as I dance abo. Number 2. Will be our Jaconia Eshe and you may be and what I was here for you now. Kabori, I said, this is the second time, my first time in Indonesia or a party. Cecilia in a Kabori, why Kakrakasa?
Oh, sir. Kabori and the crack.
If you program now,
dog and Shamanso.
If you program now, Mamma and Cassana men fan to therapy, so because the age, no, and the size, not dear, and you're healthy, man. Oh, yes, you are on the upon programming can or you are Mamma fan to therapy, so that
right. That's it. Right. Let's get that some more serious business. Kabari, so far, processes Article 146. Mampeni Atrega, yeah, Chief Justice, no, ye coy, no, so was in a prima facie case has been made against her. Into Omra, and Yako, Mampenese Council of State for ɔmagye atom ɛno nso nti power committee nipa no amampani ayi wɔ mo. In light of that, Article 146 Clause 10 kyerɛ the president may suspend the chief justice. Ampani ne pa ɔho kwan sɛ wotumi ɛma chief justice kɔtena fie kɔpem sɛ yɛbɛka asɛm na wie. Na nso wate ho sɛ bebree bi kyerɛ sɛ we judiciary yɛ deɛ nsa akɔka wɔn mo so ne yɛ nyinaa yɛ nida soɔ. Ebi so kyerɛ sɛ titiri o party mu akyerɛ sɛ mampani deɛ mmara no sɛ deɛ da no ɛna ɔde atoɔ. Ghana Bar Association sɛ obiara nye din na ɔmo hwɛ process no na ɔmo deɛ ɔmo soro sɛ ahwɛ a ne yɛ kɔyi biribi ɛbɛma Ghana sɛ the judiciary no obiara deda wɔ so sɛ asɛm yɛ den a ɔmo na ɛka no yɛkɔyɛ na wɔnyɛsɛm a ɛmmoa. So far deɛ akɔ so nyinaa ɔmo sɛ
ɔfa me dase bebree me yɛ mɔma ba so odwuma so amudie yɛmfa akwanya nhyira nkofi kɛseɛ mu kɔma ɔtekɔkɔ so ɛnɛ nana ɛsɛ wɔba beduro ɛno nti yɛhyɛ nhyira ama nana na yɛakyerɛ nana matra nkonnwa akyerɛ asanteman kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ nyinaa ɔfa manya akwanya yi ma memfa nkae asanteman ne Ghanaman nyinaa sɛ nano ada yɛkɔto aba owura mahama ne NDC amankuo hyɛ bɔ sɛ yɛba yɛni so ade hunu baako yɛfrɛ no adwuma wura yɛbɛboa mamabunu atimi apagya wɔ adwuma mu na ɔmokɔ ɔmo da yɛso yɛtimi aboa ɔmo ama da yɛso no ɛnka ɔmo tim na mu mɛbɛba bɛyɛ adwuma na aboa fa mabunu ahofra aka no nyame yɛ adoma to ada ɛba yi ɛna yɛpa ho ntoma ɛwɔ asantemantam ha prempe assembly hall ɛno nti yɛbɛhyɛ asanteman nyinaa sɛ wɔn mmara mɛta akyerɛ hwɛ Ghana ha dwadie paa deɛ a woyi asante firi mu a nyɛ yie ɛno nti looking at such a fantastic project a ɛba ma mabunu no megye di sɛ the choice of venue for me no is perfect na ɛbɛboa ma mabunu dodoɔ no ɛwɔ asanteman mu ne Ghana man mu nyinaa no ɛbɛtumi adi so mfasoɔ sɛ wahyɛ wɔ adwuma no ase dada woyɛ already in business but ebia nneɛma kwatwe kakra wontumi kura mmiem anaa wode ndeɛ ɛdaeɛ so just an idea nipa kuo mmienu na adwumadie no ɛfocus wɔn mo paa mo a mo de yɛ idea no yɛde mo to incubator mo ne ade mo a mo de yɛ businesses dada no yɛbɛhwɛ peer to peer mentorship sika obɛhia ne adeɛ na botaeɛ no sɛ afe no nkɔ na wie no yɛbɛtumi abibi ɛboa mmabuna mmoma bibi nnwuma no bɛyɛ mpem do 10,000 businesses na aboa so obi efa nipa mienu kura that's about 20,000 jobs a big direct and indirect jobs a bit ma create na ate unemployment so am all mine afa no to mapafra enti nepa odi dwumade nanim enua CEO Erica J and na pamfo so that adwada no mu nyina wo asenteman mu Ministry of Finance will be represented, Labor Ministry, Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ministry of Youth Development, Mampenina Kasankasa, prepare Assembly Hall, okay, right. Asante MP right.
So let's come to our main topic.
Offer no craning ya me Koma Koswe media as Mabuno Meje Kabamenka Bidino. I feel say we normal democratic process. I was a mano akwenya na a democracy a because till this point minimum ra Ghana mampani ura John Dramani Mahama watonase and I was see the trase and I was tietia so and I won't find your juma as far as Chief Justice Nsemu Nkomo Akosui is of concern. Of us, ye kase ye mpese o manye juma kubi and na baye juma kubi ye de politics among yourself for ya and also in Chile setimamufoɔ no a wɔsɛ saa adwumakuo no yɛ adwuma ma wɔn no sɛ ɔmo wɔ menase po bi ɔmo wɔ mentime ho ase bi obi feel sɛ bibi ankɔ yi a ɛno nso nkyerɛ sɛ yɛtwa nwura gu so na yɛmmusa ho kwan na yɛntu ho anamo ɛba no saa deɛ a na kɛyɛ me sɛ yɛanya aboabɔ ne ba yɛnhwɛ yɛbɛduru mmere bi no ɔmbɛtu yɛ nyinaa yɛ so saa ɛmfa papamba. The independence of every institution doesn't mean they are above the law and they are above criticism and that they are above due process. And in as much as Chief Justice, Office of a Chief Justice, and the judiciary as a body, are independent of young politics, they are not above, say, Ghana need BT, actually, feels that Namutu 1, 2, 3, and then Maramfa, and Namutu 1, 2, 3, and then Sabi and Shishayam Fa, would be MP that. And of course, this is not the first time Mama took on a petition about against her and in the office. Under President Kufuor, we saw a number of petitions. We saw a number of responses on one side. A trade cookie's and some nano. And the President for Mampeni for Fraba. A month for feels a near my boo, a new year no buy and Antosumu, almost a ginaso at the Insamakodam and Penny say, Wakumi Nunimi and Sanya feels say, Mameno, and some fatas what you want to say, Chief Justice. Mampeni a buy no say, meaning you will be a sans meeting went to me hotel cover for Betty, to my meeting to time for Dumato sense as more vacantia. I know the in a bar and keep a trim and penny that way. Near Bissan said, that the end of the year Ghana Maramo will see the Trassi. At the end of see and a woman, we aren't a woman quantire. But there be processes be a sabi as you would declare what him fear was a model. A year she said that was will be the subo and a tabo and I say, we be ball or Juma oh ye or Bohon Soboa. Quite was here fashion. Sakwan one among penny namso. And immediate Ghana for in army and time on penny. Na a quine will be yan and a bamia who say, Ampa, as soon as some way a day air bomb me, mood do I bit me a man actually in a juma. And I say, Sabi, a yen some more, a hoarding be a woman a bit me a buoy near Gusso. Say, if you're moon, I mean, who songs a brody do I said the OSP Beckler Raman penny do mamma. Say a bus and some no can as a would some a dance be any. Mammy, dear banners are dancing be anyone, supper pepper and a bedding. You have one Montia Becker, now I got 200 muscle. Then where banners are dancing be more, Mijin said no so she shared and a motor or that was a day. You took the Yenica Casipa when commoding in answer. Mampenny on one evening, and until on my Maracuni no I shall say, ye pinned by cool from Kubia. Woman, a bit too pennyful. Nipa Samba Kukusia, a more Diasa say, O Mampany, and somewhere they quite with the Abomami, and near New Year crowd no idea abano. It's to say, Manning and Chain, now you work and to us. And Sabi, a gun and in a mountain or my in our when I was for, I was at efficacy in Hono. Sounds sooner, penny for my small money pain, which is a Chief Justice of Korea Yakin. You are baby pain. Parliament to speaker, you are baby pain. IGP, you are baby pain. Woman in our home, I don't know what I say. In some way, you quite do a diabo mammy, and Sebio, and you no idea bano. You can't want to know woman with him, because maybe any young with him, and see Mampany. The constitution say may a conditioner, may opa and our own power. But may no dear, he say, Maninia, you madam, and Tanche, na Himua. For me, this is the beauty of democracy. This is the practical way of having Kabimami Kabinua. Yenum Pempenswa, a person you drew there. But on Mampeni Mamma who said, Kabimami Kabinia Kono, Kabimam Kabinia Papa, Kabimam Kabinet Timu, saying all other practices. So let's give it a chance. Na senior we in a day, you don't Charlie.
That's it. Come on. Doc. Maybe say where the actually Kubudi Akoso, Fibra be by Bepimano brother, Beto Jassa Mampeni was suspended Chief Justice. Matters arising. Ghana Association, Center for Democratic Movement, Wina Kebi. People have been questioning the composition of the committee, Council of State, Kwaya, Fasu you or Montino. Who can you know more? Who say?
Of Amedase, Master say video asema kabori akanende. So the I am making reference to some of these things and come recording department for now the no monkey puts our video for future. I said that be a baby for BC. Na many abranti we asa bet na studio ha. Na ne narration necessary. Na mabo sa video ya chire. Osi Council of State any part 30 out of 31 minim baby when you free there me minti kabori
Samije the kai say according to Samije Fin was say pay information or no it say out of 31 members no 30 voted.
Samije for a member of Council of State
a member of the government in fact so where petition and a response Chief Justice the call Bible until it all started from some Fisher says all allegations need be our radio so this week, and I feel the moon some in our assassin. Okay. It is so said you are kind so
information from presidency. It means information from presidency can be leaked at any time. Fine, that's fine. I don't want to go into it. But offer me and I'm going to show to you why because Amanyu Kwaya no more adili Abaya was in a track record when it comes to dealing with the judiciary offer. And you will be a political historian and an AJ Amanyo some who follows on your money in an the first one, and then me send the video be my producer. But my name say along the way to me here matters of the rule of law. Of I say Musian law, there be a motin a judge for be na you come
3 high court judges.
You come woman. Papa kwabeneje ye Japan na ne papa ka ho metie ne narration o se no free secondary school aba one ne papa wo dem na omoba ho se omu hia ne papa na o se o papa afro soro na o se frɛ ne bra oba ya ombe fa papa ne ko ebisi ne kwabeneje hwe bebe onye ne duru sa tem na o secondary school ebisi sa bere wan hu ne papa biu ajaje for miensa yikun omu ya aya bakwasem ewo judiciary ha fi bia so a ye kai wom PNDC amanyokuya na PNDC na transform by year NDC no omo track record back no omu kwa judge for ya nti enye menwanwa 2 of us kai NDC former chairman kwabenaje so can the statement be our can say there are so many ways of killing a cat when omo ba ya omo try so mu be Chief Justice then George Wood our de petition call ya or man succeed. Kwabnaji said there are so many ways of killing a cat. And he said, Omo yin na ya, omo come fast be dealing with her. Into omo target judiciary. Of our kai muntie 3. A bra mrantie manase sakwe yo sese TVSYZ Mugabe. One Akogan ne the other guy didi George Wood Chief Justice atem try say be yina anyi yi no no odi asem Abu Ramadan nini makomu case tena muntie FM didi ma mena tem so ombekwa akoto ne mona won the court court na cite for contempt no find guilty of criminal contempt against the court of Ghana. No convictee President Mahama ya spat on the face of these judges and we release you. So we dimatema memfa ho.
No, say tembe bosome.
There be
no presidential pardon.
Until all granted the other can say within his right.
Yeah.
But ebra all granted presidential pardon and call for fraud the prison. On the way who and I make catch yes, exercise of discretion, but it was an insult. Na obu judiciary no animutia. This is the track record of NDC and of Ameboa. In 2012, Ebra ye call Supreme Court. Na ye call yedi asem call election petition. Atubiga NDC ni na omo citing from contempt of the 2 months. Or say, so a judge for ni mu mu bu asem ma NPP o mbe fast kan. No ma kutwitwa ajaje for no makoma akum wo mu nyina no de no kugina court ene ye de ni tum. This is the track record for the NDC ebra judge for ni bu asema anye nana ado de no o kan say oni ajaje for no nya adwene nanso oje wo mu ruling ni tum ebra obu omubu asase no ma NDC de eno no bia NDC for no bia ni wo matem e koma wo mo de afine. Now, in fast forward 2020, me build the point in the young the entire me say enye menwanwa. And you my year in the past. Inti me enye menwanwa. Of a 2020 election petition. NDC for Justice Appiah. On a sole commissioner for judgment debt under President Mahama. Owie ya no appointing the Supreme Court. Justice Appiah. And the business you don't get 3 questions. say what was the total valid vote cast from their own independent coalition. What was the total valid vote cast in favor of the petitioner from their own independent coalition? The third question was, what was the total valid vote cast? What was the total valid vote cast in favor of the first respondent? Or say, one farmer court. And now, what about court we need in so? And on board was a muguye. Hana President Mahama ya Obia Supreme Court a ruling in 2012 in your favor. 2020 umu ruli tiawa na wako jina hose omu ye unanimous FC. So okay.
Yeah.
A grajaji for ne mema wo mu din unanimous FC Emma NDC communicators esum kabore mu erane no all over e grajaji for ne nimu ase poto me bra na omu really ma om de na yo de now fast forward omampani Mahama ya akohia NDC lawyers what as mo kan o se lawyers no em prepare no se nyame ya adom no wini a obe appointed NDC lawyers amoma beye judges into omon prepare na he believes in purging the judiciary and he thinks he can only do that when there's a new chief justice. This was before election when he met NDC lawyers and of ameboa. These are things, this is on record where tape or video or honoma yebetimi abo where you cannot contest it. He said it. And until Oshia, so Kaya, Oshia, meeting the press, Sewa Mary of GH1, Ebisano, and making reference, you said this when you met the lawyers. Do you still stand by this particular statement? I'll make it also went to me and Yano. What the wines are went to me and Yano. Now, offer, young Kosubu. Sir, action we are, NDC, a taking. And yet, Chief Justice no you are target. Many NDC communicator about program higher point a car park or say, lawyer, I doctor the Amokan de yinti, but ye bay. One, ye we are near a constitutional review near the Ashima and trenches say, will be a baby as say, no untimini Chief Justice Bill. Party be a baby and Timin finance and can be. And that is their target. That is the first one. Second, Oma target EC officers, the commissioners. But unim say your constitution say open so EC official, I just saw the command chief justice. And they believe say Mami we were as chief justice are. The petition they quite fly.
And not the inyame too.
Oh, what do you say? For an edit to
but Mammy Musa way. At the end of a penny, you know, who say a tiamra is something that is not lawful. And I say all travel. They say to me a diamano, seven penny, no Wayama traswana.
Pepe.
A quabeso.
I mean, building a point in you, we are their business.
Time in
now, offer almost per se, almost easy. If you ho, we are said you didn't can say NDC lawyers and prepare. No more prepare by appointed woman or targeted other superior court judges, appeals, and high court judges are obey you we are and son with me as appointment. Another one I know can say there are so many judges in the Supreme Court or crowd can has a MPP and an appointee and yet almost for to say MPP and appointee all the judges are no more who in our retirement. And you see, I judges me, you pen and another appointee on poor man. Do I committee no more by any chairman and the acting chief justice or me you pay. Or more Makenina in Nanado's 8-year period. No, Omunina call pension. So nam yana me bisa NDC for say, were they expecting the president to sit aloof say all the judges call pension aketu pe. Into was saying 2 way they may be 2 Omunina call aketu. Into any me appoint to be a sana no more pana. Now let's come to this issue about you can't say the ubisa me say is it lawful?
Mampenia bibi etia mara ana say ebro no tumi e dia ma no say mampeni so ana.
Yes. Unim di ntia. Say when because of a comment in the past. Intino. Say ofa constitution ni mu na leeway bi wo honom na wadwumbone a said the wedding can continue. You go behind it and hide behind say constitution ni mu ye lay down procedure bi ato nti mefa so Bible cracker say ye onyo nyina ho kwan enye ne oma nyina so na dey e fata yen because you see uma kwan se see say constitution says ye the petition bi aba we na fafa so nti no se mempewa me ametimi a hide behind enkofo bi so omo ntwere petition bi mra na me de afa saa kwan we so kan meka say me move mra bia so now in you can't say you were separation of powers and checks and balances a hinfa ene wo say yetimi ka say wo chief justice say me be yo mampani mitimi wini a ne etie bia meyu ampa na be yo mampani now start here now be ka say you are working within the law of a you to be the maker say now Omampeni John Mahama mayati as say CCA judiciary and na me person make us offer we any kwase the politics institution ba ko Ghana ha any kwase ye ne politics the judiciary onim de ntia me ensan yete he si yesi form si ya akwa abontin na offer obi hayen tete yen anaso pese otiti e fa ahudi so aba bi ba ko pe na e be secure redress. That is the court, judiciary. A honey beko. Na say no say the political colorization eba over. Near tiene say a face Kabori non NDC. The court na yesi we were NDC ni. Intia ye betimi e jano because see so koye bi judge ni koye bi etimi transfer no. Ye betimi aye bibi etia no. Se me ko na me de masem ko masem o de cries we were NPP ni nti momfa ne nko. That is the danger. The other danger, international community, investors. Unim say oman biya offer. So obi free ne mind so no de sika beba be wura wo man mu a or share the justice system.
Okay.
In this way investment no share. No timi hu say ajagefo e wo honom na aban ni betimi a control wo mo. Na chief justice kra wa yi na. Ene me de sika kɔ na se me ne aban ni nya asem ade tie bia me di for. Inteni mi fa misika
me who say omampani obi de krata abre no and what trigger that constitutional provision inti because of the okai inti no na wadwen say na yade awasha
yes
okay
the okai inti wa hihya to hodada
right Kabore mabinti you
that's me pray mamenda wasi say nkomo doctor edi ne wade akọ titentre de it really has no bearing on our discussions today because I would make up PNDC era. I could tell me judge be one way or the other or what have you compare, then you are doing comparative analysis between apples and mangoes because you cannot take happenings in military regime to juxtapose that of a democratic dispensation. Where's a gross intellectual dishonesty. Anyway, let's stick to contemporary issues. Maybe I'll tell me how the two political parties have disrespected the judiciary. Nanka wa budgets in the year 2012. How Fadi Dabuzi, your party member, Otimi is secure in bringing the name of our judiciary into disrepute. Ya maye ni Amerikura and Quatrimanshia Ababishim. Abra Okoka say, Sebe, or took a course on a trade them with dear my judge for me ruling in favor of John Domani Mahama. You were in this country, dog. One more one. What I say? I offer you any crewman Kennedy Japan and Mumu be born in Chidom's or Megan and Mobeni. Tinafi the case here so judge from head to toe. Hurunu didn't attempt Sebi Senoquasianina. You were in this country. Dog, who Krumaya with Delta Force of Marantia, Wamuko trained, then regional security coordinator Pakapakazeka de Bodanfo. A Semnuko P. court to judge in near Cotton Samuel court. That would be a Semna Marantia party for MPP Marantia Sambo Rakotua, Aram Saki court process, a free 13 suspects. I dear Chinam original Chama Kosu Kutia Fire Mom. You are in this country. Anti politics without principle, the dear Michelle. That's what we're talking about. And then we have personal be as naba. I mean, move my men tangian gaze, young na confu. Me say processes, a quantity constitution in the Amayano. As we speak, President Mai has never flouted any of the process. And the young process is not going to be enough. You cannot criticize the process. Once that process is following due process, you only criticize the outcome of a process. When him say be our family and I am we've not gotten to an outcome. And at the end I say dog, at the end I show who I said you are preempting, you know what will happen. Let's give that an opportunity. An opportunity. Investigation an opportunity. Oh dear baby, when him Faswa in Africa, Kabima an opportunity. Sabi, Nana, I him few crano, yet the Assam Quadubia, Nana no Madia, yet the Asabatono sono, a man of a canon this. If we are Nana no more, Quampa, woman, if you move fast, and the mamma no did on the side of the story about petitioners or more quadruple and Mundo Quaduaba. I feel my independent committee in Swakum, I should wait him, I say, why do you mood? One even I see, Ubian and until my in charge that door. It is a democratic process, and we should respect that democratic process. So we are now. Many person can't say now. Samijan Fee was the first person to even bring anything leaking anything as far as the first press conference, a minority in parliament. Now Samijan Fee as I. So if Obi ne leaking something around this whole chief justice and something, I am dumb kuma.
I know what I'm saying.
What her first press conference?
Yeah, I have everything. That's what I'm saying. Specific thing being no more
because the petition about Mampeninia, I am Mampeni through the Council of States, and I bet you who the petition is against. So then response response by not except of the petition, so-called petition, except
oh, sir.
Put outside by the minority of if there is anybody or group of people or leaking information, it is the minority
because minority they no more kind now or kind of said yeah Dr. Ekenya say as a person many which hunting on near the day. But on say
if you are not privy
to the whole thing, the whole thing was if I'm inside the petition call, I'm penning the Akoma Council of State. You say my many father no yemra. Based on that, and the minority because say they buy my penny no. But they were very specific about charge a cry the abono, which constitution actually say chief justice and I say superior court judge bia kwedua. Baby omugina nintino. Ini se kwedu e dia ball no epie kopem se ye beka asem na wie say bia na de na nye no kore but Samijan Fi try radio so no was able to mention what is contained in the petition thereafter and I feel a release of petition.
I think you must I was let me send you video of the first minority
I want to get that.
One of the issues they raised say petitioners and they say NDC ni bi court na maame na tia no sa denti na osrinti ya three petitions here in free.
Okay.
It was the minority that brought the
send the maame I want to know.
And the point I'm trying to make is that if there's anybody or any group of people who started this business of leaking whatever dictates of the petitioner, a minority don't come home na sebedum. Let the ora afenyo market. And not Samijan Fi. Sabe musimua he baba boa.
Yeah, we have someone na Dr. Eka no. So once in opposition President can say judiciary and near chair and it will take a new chief justice.
He never said that.
Oh, sorry.
President never says that it will take a new chief justice. He never said that.
Oh,
President said, okay. President said, President Akufo-Addo has overpacked the court with MPP inclined judges.
Okay, I think we will get that.
And the NDC law, he admonished them to choose a career in the bench to balance that equation.
No, he specifically said that it will take a new chief justice to correct that. So I'll get the videos for you very soon. I'll get a video for you.
What
video will never lie.
Yes.
And don't maybe one who asks me, say, if I say, and near much your judiciary, Tieba, you be here new chief justice, they are threats near ma. A mobile being you saying, no, I shall at all. And just like a process I echo so idea, cat maybe who know ever so. So the producer will get a video very soon.
They should get it. But the point I'm making is that whatever inferences or however President Mahama paraphrased it has nothing to do with Ejuma Ekosisisia. And why Ejuma Yache, Mabisa Waha Ghana Funina ya dance for. Uminim say, you say you the Kwa Dubo Supreme Court Judge and Chief Justice Bia. Kwanya fast, it was a day 7 fashion. Omampeni Mahama on Chia Kwano. It's the same route, Quantene, Control do no, that's what I'm so. And unti he has not erred in whatever way or form. He is just living to the full dictate of our democratic credentials. And unya mampenina wadika bimamin kabi yejuma. This is the result and effect.
Okay.
Unlike Nkofobi, do you know the processes I call more as a lot of say in the Ukruma?
Tell me.
Did she even get the opportunity to even respond to her own petitions? Did they even give her a copy of the petition, the so-called petition?
Really?
My uncle so what I say. But me say Yanyama Penina or Tika Bimami can be say we'll get to the bottom of this. Yama me to kono. Who song from all the allegations against her, she'll walk out and continue her job.
Right.
Say Komuna say as someone they are to no mudu. Entimi manon to an Juma so or twas what won't mean for pepper pay Juma, won't mean for at Centrodo and Yajuma. A bay in a free hall, I'm off for Francois Bede. I bet was Sebi, named the any back of foot.
But I say, Doc, our sister, my men on Ajumboni new Tilma in Tiamonkun, Timunya and Amoyama, my dear, of a year no
me Tanaha no man can't maybe besides say we have information with him. And 7 hour kind of now family boy. I never mentioned anybody who will be a leaky. Of an car says Sammy Jenfi can't say anything. Yeah, Intimisero, Same Casa. Pay attention, don't attribute. I
think I corrected that, so
let
us.
But he still insisted. Now, yes, and then Sir Council of State petitioner, comma president, as Atem Kranu Yam forwarding call Council of State. Now, say if what he is saying is true, need me could do minority for Nensama. Say Nanke or problem or presidency and our family boy. I dear woman penny assuye. Na it me a finding a way a call a minority or as he is trying to say her. Say Nanka or mine or problem. And of our unisa. Also make another statement about Ranti Bia or a call court disruptive court processes. That is why consistency is key. And I wish say enka ebia mo behwe archives no say sadie no ye invite me wa ha because me nim say me can on so many platforms so I condemned it. Na eduru ho no offer. Emranti ya di say omo court ye chi wom e de omo court. E ma court fine wo mo na me boa. Court no e fine omo guilty. A pass sentence on them. Anameboa. Enti se obi ko di bone. Nana buying or power. Na still na sa amrantie na court omutimi de omu kugina court. Emma court e fine omu guilty na sentence omu with a penalty. Why do you still make reference to it? Because there was a punishment to that act.
And you think 3 months? President to me say after the giving punishment, you know. You meet me. Principal Mebo. President won't to me say after the party did not to mono. After some time. That no cry.
And you know na make Ranti and also more disruptive court processes in America.
Okay.
Said there was a punishment for them. Anameboa. Enti kabor Mr. O kasa on se me yedin. Enti Mr. se me kasa on se yedin. Nye de oka nyina na na ye me de, but I kept quiet. Enti Mr. Now the issue about Honorable Kennedy Japan, he made reference to it. So, okay, statement a judge in make here or court say if you play with an electric cable, it will shock you. That was prejudicial. And until no more apply, said the judge in question should be rescued from the case. And I'm a until say ope or fact a year follow na and pick and choose. O can now why holistic in your presentation, because at the end of the day, case need travel to its logical conclusion. And that is what we are talking about. The point I'm making is offer a premeditated and obedient mean can't me. Also, you were trying to tell him, sir, there is a video evidence pointing to say Oman Penny made that categorical statement to say he thinks the judiciary needs to be pegged, and he believes that a new chief justice will support him in that direction. Otehasi I see there be Oman Penny and Casa Nemum obe mount bibia ma kind transcription. Your video evidence I in a bit me a also called fat transcription aba. And I wish some malam will beat me in your video. Na ya boni who say this, that is what I mean say and a premeditated. At the end of the day offer, we make it 2 predictions. Miami Tokunu, how they started. Omubi in a free ho.
I don't agree.
Yes.
And the merit of the case on the
there be now offer Domlevu, some part of Ora. Mebwa. Some a part of Ora. Any aside Nakoka committee with him. Who believe in his judgment?
Oh, that will prejudicial.
There be offer. You see, no. Entina me ma historical antecedent. And no na make an on tiasi. You see, Minia. See ye be an ye history. Meaning so back here university, Ubesia geography and rural development.
I say history, there will be a siaga.
But entise BBS we go back to history and link it. Anamebwa because when you are back kwasema obeyira and I wouldn't the SNT me can near NDC as a party a year in the past and their relationship with the judiciary. Now me dia BC and now person member of historical antecedent in Meden Malay Foundation and son of making me presentation into me say mo past and then someone market can na chere say mo judiciary mo mfa wo mo enye hwe. And you see, these are leading members of President Mahama. Now, so the President Mahama ekototo sa amrantie na omo eko disruptive court proceedings na one them mismatch of as what I say. I am not supporting, and I make us say me have condemned it in the past, but look at the 2 personalities, the 2 groups involved. President Mahama and Kasansem win na unanimous FC. When I President Mahama or describing the whole Supreme Court judges and so on a election petition in Nazo, so we unanimous FC. Very denigrating, but what here? You don't see anything wrong with it because he is in your party. A day will come. A bedroom so now will be so be cancer natural.
Got it. Right. Me that say. I was for the patch we did now here on Kessben television na fe Kessben TV Plus so no. My here man for adwen hire kakra omode aba. Now you move on to other topics. You can see a time we ho a beche process in the asase na say the Ghana Bar Association edika aka no. Ye nyina ni de atire na de omuni be kwa akosie bia no. Ye de ehon some so timi akire ya adwen enso ewom. Baroski from Asiswa MPP Media Patriots. It's the hard time NDC Gwabuga style of governance stop. KMA and Mayor should sit down with our blue light traders, brothers and traders to calm every situation down. Okay, I know at the end, so I don't know. Or say the new producer price should be increased by President John Dramani Mahama to 7,000 Ghana cedi because he criticized Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo for his price he gave to Ghanaian farmers. Teacher Eric Manso Atreso, aka Ubie Hiesika, or also Ediano. Okay, was a good evening of that. What was the response of Nanado after the 2012 election petition? Though it was almost a split decision, he said even though he is dissatisfied with the verdict, but the law has spoken. On the contrary, John Mahama vilified Supreme Court judges when they went to court without evidence and their petition was quashed. NDC has no respect for judiciary. Now I'm walking from I'm watching and enjoying the program. The government should consider increasing cocoa price to 10,000 Ghana cedis. Postmaster Jamal Debra. Hey, 10,000 pa. Laila. Host, good evening. Blue Light Market men and women are saying what? They said they have regretted voting for NDC. Tell them they will regret more and more than they have been seen till the 4 years ahead of them to vote next government. Alfred from Goso. Martin Safujan from Ejosodomiabra. The suspension of Chief Justice by President Mahama is a dangerous and shameful to our constitution and our nation. Per the decision he took, per the decision he took, the Okano, okay. Regards to Honorable Kamara Boateng, the MP. This has been created by Balbia, the same way Health Minister with Czech Republic President inaugurated 12 hospitals funded by Czech Republic. They are saying NDC and Mahama has come. Especially Okudjita Blacker, how can you take 3 months for thorough review of his highly security chip embedded passport relaunch? Okay. We are not discussing that anyway. But my question is, Chief Justice was appointed by a politician or not? So one president, why not another president remove him or her? Abba, MVP, now you are complaining. Power changes, Kobe, from Asen Praso. Good evening, Offer. Please tell the NPP communicator that he shouldn't worry about the removal of the Chief Justice. 2028 is just at the corner. When the NPP also comes to power, whoever also comes will be also sacked. Now, the NDC communicators are saying that the Chief Justice is an NPP women organizer. If they change the constitution, when the NPP also come, it will change, we also change it. Sir Ike inside a table. Sir Isaac Takwa. NDC people hatred. NDC's people's hatred for judges is unfathomable. 3 judges got lost mysteriously during the PNDC era. Their former chairman said to a former chief justice that there are so many ways of killing a cat, so nobody should be surprised what has happened today. She is even lucky they have not. Okay, I can't add that word. Okay. What is happening in the judiciary front is a serious threat to our democracy, and if we don't rise to the occasion, all of us will be doomed in the coming days. Blueprint right from Esikado. Dr. Champon is really doing just the issue, and I love his chronological assessment of issues. Well done. Okay. Good on offer. I think Ghanaians should be serious about their actions, especially the politicians. If this is how they behave toward the third arm of government, then I think Ghana will not be far from military purchase. Also, our constitution should be reformed and made the judiciary branch as absolutely independent from the executive, as in the case of legislature. If I may ask, can the president appoint and remove the speaker of parliament, or say Kwejo steady takrade not way free a buyer? Hello, good evening, Ofa. I'm watching you from Senegal. My regards to your panel, Special Honorable Kabor. Yes, it's true. President Mahama said that he will appoint NDC lawyer. It was based on what former President Nanado did that. That is why all these things are going on. So tell the NPP man that what goes around comes around. Good evening, Mr. Host. Please tell President Mahama his duty to fix the electricity 24-hour economy in dollar. Today, 1 bag of cement is 130 cedis. The price of markets, price of goods in the market are rising. Alex Usu, Council of State is full of NDC members. Okay, now people of Ghana know the difference between NPP and NDC about the economy. The KK price has reduced. Cement price has reduced. Our light system has reduced by 14%. No any doom so. We have 24-hour light system. The Glamsey system is working under this government. What is the kind of research? What kind of research is this? Kujo Smiler from Kintampo North. Good evening, Mr. Host. What is the purpose of Article 146 in the Constitution? If they think that the President has violated the Constitution, they should point it out. The doctor failed to answer the question posed to him. The law of karma is catching up with them. From former Agona Sweat Drew. NDC has shown a clear disregard for the judiciary in this country, and this incident is a testament to that. From Michael MP Adansi Fumso, I salute Dr. Echampong. Good evening, Ofa. Who's NDC man's position now? Is it what? No person okay. Is it what is the NDC man's position now? Deputy Assistant Regional Minister or what? Mankasim and environment, no getting water. Since we voted NDC into power. We live to see. My name is Joe from Mankasim. Mr. Host, good evening. I'm Samir from Jomoro. What happened when Jesus appeared before the Pharisees? What is the credibility of a committee members?
Yes.
Good evening, Wofa. Please, Electoral Commission are still not up into your account. No, as I say with the VR, Kamasa. Wofa, President Mahama can succeed. It is a good precedent. And we MPP will surely follow it for them because they will not stay in power forever. It is a good precedent. Good evening, Wofa. I am Prince from Kintampo. I don't understand why the elephant is so worried about CJ's removal. Okay. Good evening, Wofa. Great doctor for me. Doctor. I am Afrane from Afrane Electrical Sparkoso Estate, Kumasi. The government must do anything possible to curb the Galamsey menace. Okay, it's not on our this evening. Maybe some other time. Postmaster Jamasofa, I'm watching you live from Jamasi. The government should consider increasing cocoa price to 10,000 or the Abama kind of down from Guinea. And this is led by President Mahama have really shown that they don't have any respect for the rule of law in the country, looking at how he is treating the CJ. Of what makes MPP think that they can act in certain direction about that others cannot? Jonah from Sunyai. From Jones, Mansoton to Kromofa, CJ issue is resetting Ghana. This is part of the resetting agenda. Martin Jan from Ejoso Domiabra. He says, good evening, Wofa. In fact, what the NDC government is doing in this country is very terrible and disgraceful. Let's all rise up and speak against it. Regards to Honorable Lawyer Kwabena Boateng. Okay. Over how come from 2016 to 2020, Akufo-Addo was able to send 12 judges to the Supreme Court. This is coming from Owusu. For good evening, I don't understand why they always blame any fire break or doom so. Okay, anyway. Okay. I mean, if I win chat on the other issues, no. Okay, right. Well, my main fence here. Now you move on. Now you hear. Tamale Teaching Hospital issues. See and Minister of Health. Come on, into a candle. Or more call her. Some will see any matters arising. Open your that I am saying no. Abay nedi. Na daughter for no theatre. So mon kwejuma. Atise minister no more kasa. Amasumji aba. Daughter. Where altercations is see a minister any hospital where for no temona. Yenti video no. Every video no bra. Na fi emra na emedi home come. Let's listen to what happened.
Even if the unfortunate happens, it gives us some kind of comfort. Okay, if the patient is brought, and you are looking for a certain approach, and it's not gotten. And then
no, not coming. But you see, if that communication wasn't done, whoever is making a case out of it wouldn't have even known. Because we make it a point, before we intubate the patient, the family must be informed that this is the next step that is needed. So there's no way somebody would have said that appropriate counseling wasn't done. Then how did we arrive at that point and we called the ICU? So that communication has been done. I don't know what's making the issue blow out of proportion, but there's no circumstance under which a patient will come, need intubation. Intubation, you need consent before you intubate. So there's no way we wouldn't have communicated with the patient relative. That was done. And we try as much as possible to discuss the prognosis of patients with patient relatives the moment they come, especially for the red zone, which we all know is high dependency. But I think the solution to this is simple. If there were available ventilators here, then we would have intubated the patients. And then this issue wouldn't have even sprung up. That's what I think. Because we have the capacity to have intubated the patient.
Yeah, we all know the ideal situation, and we all know what must be done to solve it. But that doesn't mean that until we have the ideal situation, we should not be able to manage the situation. You understand? So that is why you are here. We don't have it here, but we have it at the ICU. The fact that we don't have it here doesn't mean that if there's an issue, your defense is that because we don't have it here, until we have it here.
No,
I mean, nobody.
It's not a defense.
So don't put up that posture.
No, it's not a defense.
Please.
I'm also trying.
Don't put up that posture.
Yes.
Don't put up that posture. I'm telling you something that you are insisting and resisting. Huh? Please.
If we have to resolve the problem, we have to be honest.
I'm saying that I've told you.
Because I also stated that.
Coach, and your mindset tells me that is perhaps why these problems have not been resolved. When you were do that, I told you to keep quiet. You give him I've tolerated your posture, your manners after. Look at it. When you come and meet such a person, even ministers look at what he's doing. Can you imagine a listen, trying to contain the situation. When you put up this behavior, even the minister, me, look at the way you are behaving in front of me. Even front of a minister, so you can imagine how I'm trying to explain. You can imagine how you behave as a common person. No, but you see, how can you behave like this? So it means that you do worse things here. It means that you do worse things here. Approach and your mindset tells me that is perhaps why these problems have not been resolved. When you were do that, I told you to keep quiet. You give him I've tolerated your posture, your.
Right, they see your Tamale Teaching Hospital. Doctor, what is your take?
You see, I did back Edin Kaya, I was in United States. I did back I was in United States offer. Politicians, NTRC say, and your politicians, Bibiana politicians won't hold him there. And ye Bibiana politicians, and him who yansa. And untina ubia one area of expertise. Na adia isi wo Tamale Teaching Hospital. And adia was here so. You see, okay, Papa, I am Minister of Healthy. I don't know make background. I am a cabore impen. Ebra no ye ranking or health committee. Okay, so the media for elevator or kolebu. I cause so confusion. Say ya when they were in opposition as a ranking on committee on health. Or share that's a sad media. They won't call kolebu ko yes, we are the same thing. Now, you see, health, ABBA, a very critical. In here, political color. I dear back when you can see a politicizing organ of our healthcare delivery. Now, say, you being a minister. Now, what show this kind of media bravado towards professionals? Nanka edie FSA, we minister, oko working visit. Now kodru Tamale Teaching Hospital. Ukonya patient be reported case a esi. Nanka uwie one the management and all the parties involved. Mube ko closed door meeting. Na mube discuss. Na if you mo brief you. Ni see na mu nyina together mo decide the way forward e dey na nkeye papa chance na minister chese wo political power ndu betimi akogina hospital na why dey wiye na o ka kire media na say mu nnu achi such a person of one medical training. And until then, you will be a medical doctor and also a Juma hospital. Before I beat me up a medical doctor, I go school 6 years, pre-clinical 3 years, clinical 3 years, 6 years. We are now be 2 years housemanship. Housemanship no be baako or regional hospital and I said district hospital. No I baako teaching hospital. Answer until only 8 years. We are answering your postil. Now you postil now you adwuma as a resident doctor. Some years to can answer no I specialize. O specialize we are later no be a consultant. Papa na emergency head no or a consultant o. Consultant. Our ye neurologist. Or more treating nervous system. That is his area. Consultant. yɛmfa saa mmeranteɛ mmienu NDC foɔ mmeranteɛ mmienu ya ɔmkɔ Tamale Teaching Hospital kɔyɛ saa de we Akando ne Sohoyini ɔmonya mmeranteɛ
they are ministers
no wontimi mu so wommu ho so yɛ minister ɔyɛ abranteɛ ɔnya abranteɛ of dabi of ɔnya abranteɛ ɔmoyɛ mmeranteɛ
ministers
mmeranteɛ mmienu
ya ma ɔmo title of ministers, so let's give them that
deputy minister any minister of health ade omo koye no hospital ho yemfa wo mo mienu ntoto consultant no say omo positions nsenya political appointment ena ye bie say ye pe minister of health through competitive way say obi apply no obi amfa ne credentials enko pay adwuma as minister of health, the consultant neurologist consultant any Akando any Sohoyini or Mumi and Sankahani Befam as minister in the area of health. Let's be real. Na yen kanchiren kofu bi say the political power mawa. Enkyere say woni munyansa nyina o. Hwe saade we bi na si 2020. Ebra COVID. Ebae. Na the head of Noguchi. Papa wa ye adwuma abone bra na same gemfiti TV so say papa no massage COVID cases. Joy News interview papa no na osu say ni integrity is on the line because a politician feel say also waka ebra COVID by na Samuel Kujeto onabo Kujeto abrakwa say Ghana yanko fa yen citizens a ewo China nyina mfo momra public health, that is importation of disease. Dr. Okoboy as an expert na all ka say no any kwasi import yakofa sa anko for no de wo mo ba. They were all over the place making a whole lot of noise. At the end of the day, countries are omo expert advice eko importe ede wo monko fo nyina baaye no nyina ehunu ne ekosi. Now look, sa asem ya ekoswe ede na asi utie doctor na utie report eno amehwe Joy News Evans Mensa program o say omo baaye no unse se wo hwe video na start ye na no oka se patient ne baaye no na omo problem na wo say omo run it through certain procedure inti e wo say omunya consent of the family and omunya na e wo say omo enya ventilator ba na ventilator no from emergency unit or anyhow and omo free ICU and omo say yedum light inti e ho no so de no entimi nya adwuma. Then minister can say na say twist na papa no pese obemu. Then you tell him, say, I have told you to keep quiet. Then utie video ni ya. So he say, if you are talking to a minister back, then what will you do to commoners? If this is how you are talking to a minister. But look, my man, yen can say we say, healthcare any political color. Adia, say no, now we'll try to solve a problem. But what creating more problem? And then, can he go back and take account of a nipa and go through a lot of distress at Tamale Teaching Hospital because of this particular action and indecision I'll take here. You see, we need people who have emotional intelligence to handle certain key sectors of the economy, and health is one of them. Because of our menumi unity, ye are in your hospital, ye political party awu. And it's a penny be koyesa di we. Na affect will be on say by ombe dwane abankran minister for health ni deputy minister so omo mienu nyina yare a omo nyina be dwane akọ abrochiri and akohwe omo ho yare. But eba ya doctors he call strike on said the ordinary citizen a omo watermale enclave omo na esofa but se see omo dwane omo so obi ewu enra nna we see and any padodo say and because of strike I ensue because of this altercation any padodo say nso na bi na omo free mu. Can we account for that? In the announcement, yem blame wine. mesere mpanimfo a yɛde tumi ama wɔ mo sɛ ɛnyɛ area bia ɛne yɛde tumi kɔ na America of American kyerɛ hɛ Ghana Medical Association ɛnyɛ the other labor unions are offer obi abetime de na asem omo no they stand what touch one.
Okay, what touch omu nyina me da se doctor da se kamare
offer mama phone ko chikakra because we doctor now so obama me TV before no
ma obi a two opportunities
wakasa worry about me so worry about I was akasa
and I wakasa there be men clear ade no ade a men pekra ne allegation of bias o start me about TT me back me o start na doctor bem and I obey mu and obey then I went to messages and a second round mama ono start so if you say sama obadia ka o sam baya ka ono so be sa ba bi
maybe also second topic you know we change pattern
that's how I do it.
I agree so I'll use part of
a disadvantage
I'll use part of my time
second round no say be ma ono so start now
I'll use part of my time to correct
just 1 minute
I'll use part of my time
just 1 minute
point number 1
just 1 minute
the catch the doc will say principle is very important in politics sure it is will be a court now your man fine we say it's enough punishment other than when you to say Obia can be at your court judge. Your man could them 3 months. I know they need enough punishment. Where lies your principle? They told me, you know, judicial immunity, doc. For purposes of reminder, it's a legal doctrine that shields judges from civil and criminal liability for their judicial decisions, actions, and conduct. And they say, "Okay, judge be court." No, you should work. Say, if you joke, it will shock you like electrical. It is when all discharging a duty and is shielded by the judicial immunity. Oh, Fanon Cotton TV soon Kokorono, and friend Sabi, Nina Emma, oh, Metna platform, and protected. And for you to say that,
let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic, please. Let's move on to the next topic. Let us go on. Kabore, let's move on to the next topic, please. Let's move on.
Well, I don't believe say we are journalists now or party it to cloud your friends and your fairness. I am happy Doc is learning that.
What does that mean?
That means that Domilevo belonging to Ora doesn't mean say
okay, Doc,
you cannot do that.
Kabore,
that's my point. The point I'm trying to make.
Please. Kabore, please.
Kabore,
please.
Doesn't mean you mark
Kabore, we are talking about Tamale Hospital. Let's make progress, please. Let's go on.
Offer. My first point is that it is very unfair for Doc to sit here this evening. So I'll be attacking the colleague politicians just so to make his point. Very, very unfair.
Politicians.
Very, very, very unfair. To attack your colleague just so you are able to make a single point is one of the weakest political strategies I've seen in recent times. Officer Obi Kodi Minister Keke, Deputy Minister Keke. Doc, your government was in power for 8 years. Let's not do that. The first point of a year is having a certain posture that is welcoming and comforting. And so you need use a certain statement. Was the Minister of Health in Po and our brand poster. And you say towards him. Na kamima wudi kabore adwa taba mi nyobi a me yare ameko ho no yes poster ichiremia. And ka yare no kwankumi. The fact that you have nimdie ewo baby and asweye doesn't mean say you should lose your leadership traits. We have people who held PhD in 1999. 5 names are submitted Nana Santehima in 1999 to be selected to be a Santehina. Atiko was not I'm trying to see leadership. No offer.
Matthias, please, Miss Raw, we have an editorial policy, editorial policy. Listen to me. Emphasize case in the example. You use a different way. Why?
Kessben editorial policy.
So go ahead, please.
It is not always about what you know. It is more about your traits, character traits. Usu ene oban. Ubetima the best student in class, but suni ban bi wo ho a eni umu ofa. Ye do ye bibi enye den. And suni ban abrante no dan na fefe kire say he might be the best surgeon, he might be the best whatever he is, but he is not the best leader to manage such an institution. Because once we are at helm of affairs, you are managing people, you are leading people, and Sony Bible, you are not supposed to say obey exhibit. And for me, I think it's a wake-up call to all Ghana Jumayafo, whether civil or whatever. Say, my integrity is doing what is right, even when no one is watching. My young minister, Bentia Fede and Lady, Baby and Pry Copra, and run a bar office. I'm examining good tables and they met last year. Let's always live by example, the dignified life. And I'm happy. Say, Ora can't obey a health minister. The strategy we use is working. It's helping us identify the little gaps we have in our health system. Of our problems, and you see, it's just a normal. Your friend is saying, working actors, and I was here, pay them kakra. Open a juma into a whole unit, Obako is not functional. I didn't think there was a banner, and just our unannounced visit, or bow more cocoa, say be a Kessben Juma, or back Kumasa on bomb cocoa. Murano Boppi, not the end the year, the it's to 2 years. If every minister in the sector, especially Honorable Haruna Idrisu,
education,
or rounds of lecture, now lecture time you're 10. Now what about 10:45?
And I go what you buy
10:45. Oh, now you're the I'm for class.
Civil servants.
Over it, you go to class. 1 hour later, the dog is and then my cancer class. You didn't see 100% once in a while those things. But the people are abusing those your friends.
But maybe I'm not harming and say after seeing CB and maybe in Korea.
Yeah.
Sometimes say administrator when you a public show of things, Kabia, you go to the office.
Yeah.
Then you call him and say, what do you because cameras in the
Kakra where you offer. There is a theory called naming and shaming. Kakra where he might not be able to visit all district hospitals in the northern region, but will be done also.
Some
of these things, some of these antics are very important. It helps in awareness creation, and will be done also near this. What I say. In as much as feels differently, no. Some of these challenges have persisted for a long time. Health minister so why are the challenges still persisting? So some of these things we must bring it to the light. People will begin to do what is right and what is just. Until he has the fullest support of the people of Ghana. He should continue to do what is right. Is either you join the queue to reset this country. Resetting agenda is not just a partisan slogan. Now, baby, a busy doing what they are. I was here, and as part of CBS, it's important. Say, baby, be a you must become the shining light there. So what I say? Then you are not Ghana Medical Association. In other jurisdictions, you see the highest paid should be the medical person.
But what did he say? Assembly CEO run.
Yes.
Then Rakrata say the CEO. Do you think
the CEO is one man? Work must continue. That CEO, whether assembly in the buyer now, near assembly in the buyer. per the new direction and the new focus of the government can decide to change him.
Yeah, no problem
So,
on that.
media me pese Ghana medical
see
dey omo ni be si ehɔ no nko a say ye see we dintino say ni the woman no aye sesa be boa ye no ye ma ye ni nye den
enko
say e bia as part of say minister so on ete or de enko ye ba bonten no atiati omo fa hodie so ni bibi so a kwansu a na bebo hina so hunu say bibi antwa yi a wo mo fa nche. But the writing must be done.
Okay.
But what I say, in doing the writing, certain things might go wrong. And so one identify those things. I mean, in terms of behavior and the woman can answer. But me say those are the peculiar issues and now so see you grano the Jumani ya Jeffrey Nisam. We should. Man must be ready for change. Change is inevitable. Change in any sense, no, I say, I need ya something say. My yen say Canadian, just a Canadian one ye. Of Namikaze, Oberdrew as between be in your my nest of Webby. A big boy, you was it, and Cadana Dagua, fast on your bomb, my basso, ye ebia, health award scheme, being near the boss out for Nabasso. Obin so walk cocker when you are Brenois, who could be about when you hands, I turn one up take a talk now. Just a one shakran, what take a pleasure amount. Ye working ethics are. And more be ma MFA camera and see so and son you was when you may one casano get a change of mind, that paradigm shift. You will say, oh, mine, and to feel say an as if we are, when you're other countries, you know, no more health system, and not even caretaking jobs from San me or Juana. Even what you would mean for a phone, I know a member of parliament, any DC year in the eastern region, supposed potential nominee. And yet, this is a grandma, but almost tenacity, I say, couldn't crack. I say, woman will require assembly acquiring by election, by law. Say, one woman, persuasion, seem what ye health worker who call Juma for phone, no show bag. A break time or use phone. But I bit and one of the research near the end one provided laptops and Wi-Fi complementing what you would have used.
I think there are some institutions in Ghana only the same thing.
We must.
There's one officer that I wanted to talk to, and just a break time.
Yes.
Before break time, there is a company line. I say office line or use I won't go and I'll be to me.
Yes,
me
my year Juma or private company. I sent it with the higher. Now the clinic of the company who call ground for phone call. Health worker now through camp. You don't take your phone along. A private company. How much more government?
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doctor,
just 1 minute. I call.
1 minute, pay the Martina.
Kabori
say he doesn't understand why me being a politician, I should attack my colleague politician to make my point. No, you see, consistency is key. So when you're a politician, sebi of our idea and fakwe when interest or a politician, to men can't into Onoa Kabori, would ye imagine sa dear Omumi Nukoye no hospital home. Put all politics aside. One kasa video and are you happy? Be honest to yourself. Say, ade omkoye ye na nkasa hospital environment. You see, sa pandemonium confusion mo set you know of him say enocrat me ma patient be pressure to me cause. So beti gidi hey minister. Then all be we na fe de ono san ka say ohwe na ohwe a minister ni ye bi na ofum ya omomfa nche. Kensi so said the minister ni ye nye subanya omuda na di wo hospital emetran ka se wo kan ye na wo se me attack no me yesi wiye na wo bend na fe de wo se an Ghana Medical Association so the minister no be ye ne se nya na ofom ya wo mo hwe no mo mfa nche kesi supi se de o ye ne nye manen toaso because you see say o man nye no man for mo nan ensi for ma e be ye ne de because okoye bi wo kolebu me last one am this no fa or say minister no strategy no is working. Me be so provide the data evidence e kire say near bravado media bravado na onabo akando eye e organ how kwa no asesa media edi nachi no me be so provide the data e wa ha ai kire say indeed is working and is improving our healthcare system. Because we make it a categorical statement. We statement we me the CEO no the any the me mfa ho. Say CEO no on any education no. A consultant no. CEO no the oyi na me mfa ho. Whatever you want to do, it is your prerogative to do it. But I'm looking at professionals. Kabori, my encan sisu say, we a politician na. Enkyere se woni munyansa echen wo bia na area bia woni hunim de. Nti wo call ye na omkache o se obi ewu no. Hospital Tamale Teaching Hospital. The whole day ne nipa ba akopɛ na na afiri mu. There be nti na no fair draw attention say as minister nka wo call ye no. The best way ye wie ye no. Munko enkoshia ede na si ye say brief me. Uya the way forward. But until they say ukoye gidi wie ye no. What has been the solution? A DNA si wo ho.
Okay, gracias. Kawore. Baba. Kolebu. Minister call Kolebu. Elevator na enye adwuma say adwuma. Minister call rate na wo mo ho machine ba ko. Wo baka be yi adwuma. Even Tamale Teaching Hospital uyi awura yi sabe ni poster if was na enye papa for a candidate. Machines ni idea minister out of university to come say papa on those machines has been sent. They say this tour is an important tour to help equip our health system and help strengthen our health delivery. And on any day I'll repeat it because we are getting results from it unannounced tour now be an has MPP near Winia Bangno. Opa said yeah. Eti bi a kama na ye obi ade na me de na ye nwuno na wo faso de nya political capital but say ka wo bisa wo ho say doko e bi anye Tamale Teaching Hospital a doctor teaching hospital ye wo awode a na wadwuma ani ba ko ye sa na ma no ana bibi koso wo ho e na wakọ de wani ko hwe na that's the poster of one of your workers e bi anka be kan different. Yeah, man, your phone, you total.
What was his poster?
Yeah, man, phone, you total.
Poster.
In as much as I hear the enya, ye tumu, na ye magana for Huriano. Obi a gun and need Juma any no one ye bibia. Yan train, you know, train agency so. Okay, na yes, son. And support to me, and support to me, and support to me.
Me, see, Debbie, where we, Mammy can be supported. I support, say, you be provide the needed service. Okay. But yet this kind of bravado style, say minister, what's a behavior or can the behavior? Any free consultant because the minister was trying to be bossy. No catch and say no, and you say near no. But minister any behavior, they are you are okay.
Okay.
Black House Ura, true President Mahama want to forcefully prosecute NPP members with the help of the Chief Justice Summit from Wasa Jaboso and all the way free by. We are sitting, not sitting no. We are sitting on a time bomb. If NDC continues like this during campaign, NDC behave like they like women than anyone. But just look at how they are frustrating the Chief Justice. God is in control. Nana Jomo from Obuase. Good evening, Dr. Enoch is a game changer and an ideal communicator. I will love a submission. Dr. Come save Adansia Sukwa. Hey. Okay. Very sad one from the dining hall prefect. How on earth should... Okay. Prefer to remove a medical doctor. Oh, please. He's a minister, so let's accord him that respect. Good evening, must the president and the ministers continue to sack public servants? What is really going on in Ghana? Okay, which one will be of our good evening, please. What does the President Mahama and his NDC party get by removing the Chief Justice? The NDC party seems to be tarnishing the image of Ghana, the judicial system, and it is problematic in the eyes of the international community. Let's do things that will move Ghana forward than just showing of political power, because we all thought NPP did some of the things that people were not happy about and voted for you, and you are also repeating same thing. Then what is the essence of changing government? Colin Soso you come from Kofodia. I never seen a non-serious country like this country Ghana before. 3 people that will collapse this country: NDC, NPP, and the media. God save Ghana. So, good Wofa. I'm really educated by a doctor. You have spoken a lot of wisdom. God bless you. I'm Yamiche from Trifo Pras. So, good evening, Wofa. The minister didn't show maturity. Wofa, to be frank, I don't see any mature person in the President Mohammed's ministry apart from Haruna Dusu, say Ike inside a table. Good evening, Wofa. Though the president has the right to trigger Article 146 of the Constitution, it's therefore affront to our democracy if the petition is frivolous and has no basis based on what Samiji and churned out on live TV and the president's own words about Chief Justice during 2024 campaign. It's very bad and dangerous. And I'm Wako from Good evening, Wofa. Akando is arrogant from day one. Look at the level of arrogance he was showing there. This is what happened when you appoint inexperienced people into crucial positions. Josh from Hebron. Wofa, just one decision by a health minister now. There is a huge health problem at Tamil Hospital. Health minister always want to bring politics into a health system. But they plan to do that at the hospital so that they will sack the CEO and bring their own CEO. Tell NDC rep that the studio is not for him. Then why it is studio not for him? Right from Takwa. Have you read the comments and insults on Dr. Val? I don't have a problem with the rumor of the CEO. My issue is with the health minister who was an agricultural student and a dining hall private trying to educate a highly successful professional in that manner. As for the MP, the least said about him, the better. OPK, acrocrat training. I am foreman from Agora Swedro. The CEO of Tabali Teaching Hospital is not the one who had the banter with the minister, please. That's what we said. I said you are not in your banter, no, but I didn't share, you know. And a Ghana American Association for Kamwasem. Good evening to you. Hey, being a minister has become cheap, Papa. Which serious country will appoint Mr. Akando as health minister? If it is not politics, can such a person be appointed as such a sensitive area? NDC from Pastor Michael Appiah, Sufria. Host, don't be surprised. People should be given position that they know well. John Ade. Tija Kujo from Tepa and Suso. The position, the Ghana Medical Association must stand in solidarity with the dismissed colleague of the health minister and demand that he be reinstated. The failure of the minister to reinstate the doctor should warrant a nationwide strike by medical doctors until he is given back his job. This is an abuse of power that reflects on the president. The minister has no right to castigate the medical doctor in public. Greetings to Chairman Wofa Kofi Appiah. Okay, I think you have brought the same message twice. Yeah, when I saw, I can't just 5 minutes. Not yes, sorry, so. Yeah, quick 2 minutes be from KJTR Ediano. Come on, KJTR the aircraft bay. I say, Pinche see what we just to time that so cry.
Of me that's it. Ora Bwedi Ajimai Kinzuba. Na mamwe ade abako ohia kese Asantema support, especially Kumasi. Na obie ni ho a sebi obepesa atorenche meto no. De esi o blue light. Nyina no na oyeni kese a bonyen. To restore back life no. Sometimes you need to take certain critical decisions. Ava say the empampruni nchense kwaje biaya ehwehye ye no ho. It doesn't mean anything. It does ye besi amamo. Anaze ye hwese obi nwene say ya asase tamu eda ho kwa no befa kwa NBB. Anaze obi mfa kwan nye na just already structure be affected the intended design. I per se design for purposes of future mitigating measures. I per se in terms of how bibi kura sa nyame mpangu anu da sumuna so say sia e be to me in the fire attendants every room near there. Enti said the jai by yenya market association leadership wa obi aba obe donation ma money ade no. Me feel say mo buy mbe hu bibi say ne ma me no mu. Sabe obu kwan so ani nua dokwan so no. Mama mpenimfo ni me yokotena se ye buy we ni ehuna na moto be na ekọ obisafo we ofa wonyina kwan na yɛn nyinaa yɛasaasa adwene na deɛ ɛbɛtɔ no yɛde ato ɛbɛyɛ den bɛn wɔn wase baabi maame no mu ti di dwan na ɛhɔ ahye na ɔkyena mayor sɛ ɔto ama private developer and yeah, totally different thing from what used to happen there. It means nti die nkwa na asia ɛho your friends say we your friends say demonstration or yɛkyerɛ ɛne ntesukɔkɔ na afei kwa de ne yato aba ma wonu yɛ ho ne fa nkusi sɛbe yɛtɔ da amoma yɛ ma yakoma no mmra fam kakra mpeni sɛ sɛbe de wo sere a na obisa de be ma ono ana de umuna beside the man o sere a betumi dia okay me da se sa na ye be sikegetia ebi mu be pa on twice in naked demonstration ni ade ewi ase look at nipa mpem
no me da se
amo modwuma ntino ye nyina ye num asumwie kuro
me da se
na ye mo asumwie anamo
me da se
say de be free mu aba na be ye nkoso ni yedie amadwadefo
me da se kabore doctor
of me da se this issue no eba ya mitie nana ba kwa say oye nana efikesie mu chief of staff was bibisa na o kan say o pes yentwen ma na infra country mumra me mitie no Hello FM an interview live a year na o kan say osre se edwadifo ni nyina nyanto boase na o ma regional minister ene mpanimfo nana ba o mbe decide ne o pes o mde ho ne ye nti me de saa baby e hye no. That is my position. I feel na aba. Yen twene yen hwede omde hobeye. Now on Zuba. Ofa me name Zuba from Obuasi. And me per se you put two politics aside and support him. Unim di ntia ofa. Hwe Ghana haye the politics ayi bibia ma ye bibia enye. Zuba the wakasa obeye no ne kasa o kan about the congestion of Kumasi no. Baby a mena menene nya adwene ya yese o kan so obebo apart from that
okay na ne
yes no fa nantwie nti wo mo nam airport run about ho no mo ne ade no nti hwan na nani gye ho maka asem we another platform me party members cry bi ni ma anya adwene sadi na say no me I support him say utu kwan obeduru airport na nantwie ni nam ho ye mayors mienu a yenye tamba yi nyina enya akukuduru inti omunim so okoya ye nto aba ma no inti na nantwie ni number bia rough dey na ejash eto blue light no na meetie me mpese mebo station bia no pa no omo frɛ maame baako a oye programs manager ewo FM station ben ba bi eja no esi ya no oma eyewitness report o se fire service for ebeduru ho no na enkofo eton ade ego street ni mu nyina oma block kwan inti na fire service for tender no entimi nko enti wo ton ade wo street mu na obi store eja tom na ni sikeshi you say yeah my mama free ho was my baby ntina the point is that of enti na mkase me mfa nye politics
okay
enye ono oh ka we dey
wrap up no time na
enye ono na do mo betena ho e wo street ni me nka blue light de no me ka omo magye street ni mu afa water hydrants cry say emergency bar ye betwe nsuo no kwabrane kwa no de ni table asiso no ahihye ne oma wo so
table cry dey say betima pagya be a
container no de asiso nti sa atwere nche mo bar na fire service for ba no mu nsuo san yiso omo sa drive back na akopɛ nsuo mu wia no mu blame fire service me sisa de we me mfa nye politics because ejesia enim NDC na enim NPP omo maye nyina ye support to the new KMB boss me NPP ni I know what he did in Obuasi see ye nyina support no na ye jai politicization of this issue a ye be mekumase ate se ne be ya na over obitimi ko gestor na edura no power fa kwa brane no mayi store ni mu ni o manyina begu abontin showcase no mo de age kwan enwumre no masasesa ne o mani nyina akogum who does that who does that yene a yetu kwan kwa amana hwan na tu kwan akodu amana ne a wo bedru street ni ye yes ade we ho
okay right And I say, yeah, fanye amanyosem, adiene nya na enye. Barowski from Asisirwa say this is the hard time NDC Gobuka style of governance must stop. KMA may also sit down with the Blue Line brothers and traders to calm every situation down. I was avoiding media no everywhere ote Mahmoud Kabore enka okasa edema NDC nafe Dr. Inoke Champon so lecturer Keno Sekasama MPP. Why not channel? Okay. Last minister.
Or per appointment, but we
right.
Oh, me ma wunchia. Oh, per appointment. Me ma wunchia.
I only my appointment to get
Oh, nyahe.
Yeah, 4 years. Sorry,
so. Yeah, more appointment.
Let me appointment. Oba penny akusia boatama. Tafen Messi, boat, Yami Adomo, Mimin Day, and away are you driving. Mini aqua could you so a experience. And Hoka 4 year generation also a basso jabbing, Yami Adwa weekend in Sadofuni na a better much. Malami Ayana one Simiano Maye, meeting Wofa Kofi Appiah, Yami Adwa, and in share El March, Jubedino so, Yakramo.